Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Boy District podcast. For some reason, when I hit the recording hotkey there, this little screen popped up with a bunch of words and numbers that I don't understand. But welcome to the show. We've got a couple of topics. We just kind of yoinked them and boinked them out of our poopers on the fly. But
Yeah, we always talk about how we need to take more time for topics, but we always just end up being like, "Hey, you want to record today?" Yep, give me like 5 minutes to think of some bullshit.
I try, but I'm weirdly picky with shit that I want to talk about. So I'll just be like scrolling through the news and just be like, nope, 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 no, no. And then I finally stumble upon something that I'm like, okay, I can maybe squeeze a couple of minutes of bullshit out of this potential topic. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's just a part of it. But
I see where you're coming from. Very, very poignant.
but yeah, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing. Gotta find a new job. Gotta get to moving here in a couple weeks. Gotta, make all that work out. So I'm figuring shit out at the moment, but it's not a bad day.
It's a horrible day. I'm gonna tell you
Oh, what
why.
happened?
I'm gonna tell you why right now. This
Okay.
actually didn't even happen today. This happened, let's see, this came out June 1st. This was 5 days ago. The Sonic Frontiers world premiere gameplay first thing, trailer, whatever, came out. And
Okay.
we just got done talking about this, but this new Sonic game does not look good. And it looks like, okay, full disclosure, I need to like add some context to this. I am in no way a Sonic fan. And
Okay.
I don't hate Sonic. I mean,
Okay.
I kind of do, but like
Okay.
I'm not a card carrying Sonic the Hedgehog fan. And I know that there's a lot of Sonic fans out there, and there's a really big community for Sonic. And being a Sonic fan has always been kind of a tumultuous affair in terms of the quality of what you're getting, and that's why you see Sonic fans being so fucking weird and outraged all the time over whatever games are coming out. But this game just looks like complete shit. It's open world. It's like the first open world Sonic game, and I'm gonna play some of this footage because I watched some of it earlier, and this game just it goddamn looks like what would be created if you were experimenting with like a 3D platform game maker for the first time, or if you were just plugging in Unity for the first time, just experimenting with the Unity engine.
Okay.
So this isn't even gameplay. I'm gonna skip to where gameplay starts. But the
I
open world just looks so barren and empty.
I can't. Are you screen sharing right now? Because I can never
No.
remember. Okay, I'm just watching it on my TV. Then yeah, this it looks pretty bad. I mean, I I won't lie. I've never been a Sonic fan either. Even when I was like a kid, I always just kind of never was into it. But I don't know. I mean, there's like, the world looks kind of cool.
I'm trying to understand what's happening right now. I kind of just like fast forwarded to like, okay, he's climbing up a tower.
So
Okay.
what's your major issue with this?
I think the open world just looks so sloppy and boring and empty, and like there's
It
just
does look
nothing to do.
It does look empty. It looks beautiful, but empty. Yeah, I would agree. Um, the gameplay looks alright. I mean, he's jumping up. I don't know. I don't know enough about the previous Sonic games to like judge whether this is a good looking game. But I can tell you, I won't be playing it.
It looks very Unity. For some reason, there's
Yeah.
something about these graphics that are like really just ugly to me. I don't know if I'm just being an asshole and like anti-Sonic, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's look at some of these side videos. Mudahar posted a video. It's called "The New Sonic Frontiers Game Doesn't Look Good." Um, Someone called
Okay.
Splash Dash posted something called "Sonic Frontiers is looking pretty bad." I guess nobody's really that excited for this, but yeah, it does look boring. Also, it doesn't look like there's any combat or enemies or anything. It looks like you just sort of run around this
Parkour.
big
Yeah.
empty green map, the most generic looking fucking map I've ever seen. And you just run around and you do Sonic Dash puzzles. And it literally looks like there are no enemies.
Oh, that water looks really bad. Ooh, that's rough. That's like one of the biggest things I'll judge a game for is if the water looks bad.
I take it back. I saw some enemies a couple seconds ago. I think they were enemies, but there's still been no combat. So, like, all they're showing off is like, oh, look at all the rails you can grind on. Yeah, this... Keep in mind, this is a world premiere gameplay demo, so they're making the game look as interesting as possible. This is the gameplay that they're like, yeah, we gotta take this and show this to the world to get them hype for our game. This is the footage they chose, and like, they're doing a good job of making it look pretty hype. But then when you actually think about it, you're like, God, this would be boring as fuck to actually play.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like there's much input beyond hitting the jump button.
Yeah, like, it just... I don't really know what they're going for here. It's almost like they're trying to do like an Elden Ring meets Super Mario 64 kind of a thing.
It
But
does look
like,
like Sonic. It does look like Sonic in Skyrim.
yeah, like, what? I just don't get it. I wonder if they're gonna do that thing from like Sonic 06 where they started bringing humans into the story and just making it all creepy, because then you've just got these weirdly like anime looking humans interacting with these anthropomorphic characters. I don't know. Sonic
Yeah, Elden
06
Ring.
was one of my least favorite games of all time.
Elden Ring really set the bar for open worlds. Like they made a massive open world that literally never feels empty or boring.
Oh,
Whenever
speaking of that,
like whenever I see that, I'm just gonna be like, how did Elden Ring do it? Just do what Elden Ring did.
I just got to the the point in Elden Ring where the map basically doubles in size, and it shocked the shit out of me. Because I was like, oh, how much longer do I have to beat this game? You know, probably another like 20 hours or so. And then the map literally just fucking doubled in size. Like, it got so much bigger. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
didn't see that
I,
coming.
I, I still remember when I first got that game. I still only have like 10 hours total in that game, but I remember when I first got that game, I was playing it and I was like, this like honestly might blow Cody. Like I was thinking, I was like, I might not hear from Cody for like months when he gets his hands on this, because like I think that's like the like I don't know, when the whole time I was playing it I couldn't stop thinking, I was like, yeah, this is like Cody's gonna fucking love this.
I played it for 10 hours yesterday and like 12 hours the day before. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I've just been eating that game up. It's so good. So far, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Like I said, to me, a 10 out of 10 does not mean a perfect game. Because to me, there's no such thing as a perfect anything. But, like,
Yeah, everything has flaws.
yeah, if I give something a 10 out of 10, that just means, like, holy shit, it blew me away in ways that games rarely do. And Elden Ring brings back that like childlike joy and excitement I would get when I first played Skyrim and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. I will admit, like, I was pretty blown away by the world. I was expecting, like, because everyone kept telling me there was a Souls-like game that was an open world, but everyone also told me that the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, great game, by the way, um, fucking a game more my speed. But everybody kept telling me that was an open world too, and it wasn't. It was just kind of like big levels, like it wasn't all one connected open world. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so I fucking was expecting kind of the same thing with Elden Ring, and it was not. It was an amazing world. God, this Sonic gameplay is like putting me to sleep right now. I gotta turn it off.
It was so
But
bad. I kind of zoned out too.
oh fuck, that was bad. But yeah, Elden Ring is pretty cool. I'm gonna try to get more into that after I'm done moving and shit.
Yeah, it's such a fucking good game. It's so good. I like went into it knowing that I was gonna love it, and I was still just blown away by it. And when I do beat it, I'm gonna be fucking sad because I don't know if I'm ever gonna find a game to fill that void of happiness ever again. But who knows? As long as From Software keeps making games, they'll
Yeah,
figure out. They've got the formula
yeah.
down. But yeah, moral of the
Hmm.
story, I guess, being a Sonic fan is kind of like being a Star Wars fan in that, but it's you're walking on eggshells in the quality department either way, and there's always
That
gonna be a lot of hate going around regardless.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect transition into one of the topics I wanted to talk about, which we kind of touched on last week when we were gushing about how much we liked the Obi-Wan show and how it felt like people were kind of being unfair to it on the internet. Um, that's kind of happened. That kind of happens to like every single Star Wars thing I realized like since the beginning of time, like except for two movies, which is A New Hope and Empire Strikes
Yeah,
Back.
I
Everybody
agree.
loved those, but when it started with Return of the Jedi, where like pretty much every piece of Star Wars content out there is just like either good and people love it on one side, or it's like the worst thing to happen to the franchise apparently. So all the prequels came out, and they got so much hate. Which when it's like they're cheesy movies, but they're not bad movies. Like
Yeah,
as a trilogy, they work. It's not they're not incompetently made. They're just not good. You know what I mean?
George Lucas had the perfect response to all the hate that the prequels were getting. And like this is something I think we already talked about, but he literally said they're pretty much made for kids and kids like
Yeah.
them. So as
Yeah.
long as like that whole dynamic is in place, then what's the fucking problem? Like
Yeah, it's like Star Wars is like for kids, man. And like I'll addendum that and say Star Wars is for everybody, but think about when the first time you watched Star Wars was. It wasn't as a 21-year-old man looking for like the Godfather type storytelling. It was as a kid. You watched it as a kid and you love it to this day because you saw it when you were a kid. That doesn't mean it's bad or like anything. It just means like if you're expecting like I don't know how to say it without infantilizing it because I think most Star Wars is good quality, but if you're expecting like Machiavellian level storytelling from fucking Star Wars, you're not. They weren't going for any awards besides video effects awards. I don't know why I say wards. Um, but yeah, there's like always hate when the Clone Wars came out. Oh, people hated Ahsoka. Now she's beloved. Rebels came out. Oh, people hated everybody, but now she's beloved. It's like, man, even happened with the Mandalorian. You remember how everybody was like, "Oh, the Mandalorian's confusing. I don't understand what's going on. Like, is the Empire dead or not?" And now it's like one of the most beloved fucking Star Wars things there is. I don't know. I just think people need to stop putting so much of their identity and weight into franchises
oh
because
yeah.
then it becomes like really really weird trying to have discourse about them. Another thing about that is the Halo series. I hate the Halo series. It's bad, and I'm going to continue to hate on it because it was laughably bad. But I'm also not like going out there harassing that actor, like going to his Twitter and being like, "Hey man, like go fucking throw yourself off a bridge or whatever," you know? Like I'm not gonna go and harass. Like I didn't like I don't even remember her name, but the primary female lead, I didn't like that character, and I'm not gonna go to the actress and be like, "You ruined Halo, screw you," oh, because that's just hateful and toxic. Like there's a difference between criticism and toxicity, and I really think that people need to be like taught that more.
Oh yeah. Especially in terms of the actors, because the actors are literally just doing a job that they're getting paid for. So
Yeah, and
it's really like dude, if you're gonna yell at anybody, like at least yell at the right people, like yell at the writers
and
and shit.
and I agree with that mostly, but I do think you can criticize an actor's performance because they do
Oh yeah,
bring
absolutely. If they're
like an
bad,
element.
if they're actually like a bad actor and they're not convincing in the part.
Yeah, exactly. But you should, and it's like, don't yell at anybody, man. Like, even if you like hate something, you think that people are going to listen when you send them like death threats and racism and like anger. It's like, no, they're gonna listen if you like just say, hey, this was bad. Here's why I think it was bad. All right, I'm gonna move on with my life now. Like, people don't listen to irrationality. They just don't. And that's coming from a pretty irrational person sometimes. Like, I used to have like mad emotional issues, and I would fucking be irrational all the time, and it's like nobody takes you seriously when you're irrational like that. They'll listen to like discourse, and they might disagree or agree with it, but as soon as you come at people sideways, they've already like closed themselves off.
Exactly. I just feel like there's a lot of like children. I don't know, when it comes to arguments on the internet, like my mentality is always just like you have no idea who's on the receiving end of whatever you're saying. Like it could be a child, it could be
Unless it's
a
like
drunk
Facebook or
person.
something, but
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Things like,
I
dude,
could be a disabled person, yeah. Like,
Facebook blows me away too because like back in the old days of like YouTube, back when trolls and just people being a dick in comment sections was really prevalent. People, the general consensus was like, oh, people are just hiding behind the anonymity factor of the internet, and they're just being anonymous, hiding behind their fake username so they can say whatever they want. But you see the exact same shit on Facebook where people have their real name and their picture
it's like
and all
people
of
they
their
know
information.
IRL,
Yeah,
presumably.
and you
Like,
see them posting the same kind of shit. So it's like, all
it's
right,
like,
well,
bro,
I guess
stop.
I guess we don't care about being anonymous. I guess we just like to use the internet to be dicks, no matter
Yeah,
who knows it.
yeah, it's bad. I don't know. People have a lot of guts, bro. Like, I don't think people realize like how crazy people are. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like to like if someone disagrees with me on the internet, I literally just don't even respond because people will like DDoS you and shit, and they'll like hack into your shit and steal your information, and fucking blackmail you and shit. Like, I don't know, it's just a real thing where it's like some like you have no idea, like you said, you have no idea who you're talking to. You could be talking to someone who's like one fucking bad day away from snapping and fucking like hacking into your shit because he's a super genius. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's similar with like scammers too. Like there are scammers on the internet that are genuinely like genius, and you can like you literally know that they're scammers that are trying to scam you, and you can try to fuck with them, and they'll like reverse Uno card on you, and they'll end up like scamming you anyway.
yeah,
That shit
I
used to
get.
happen in RuneScape. Like there were RuneScape scammers that like they would prey on kids and shit. And I think Charlie or like Critical was telling a story on a podcast about like he was getting fucked with by a scammer, so he tried to fuck with him back, and the scammer still somehow ended up scamming him. It was
Yeah,
it was absolutely amazing, and it was like that's the kind of shit that can happen. Like
there was So I used to have a friend named Drew, and I know you know Drew, but I'm just saying for the context of the story. And we were playing GTA 5 and just like trolling people and fucking with people on online. You know what I mean? And there was this one guy who I guess we just really pissed him off because we just kept killing him and killing him and killing him, and he was sending us hate messages and all this other shit. And then he sent Drew a message that had like the address of the house that he lived at, and then he shut off Drew's internet. And nothing
holy
else ever
shit.
happened, but it was pretty fucking scary.
That is really scary. I gotta say, it was kind of nice of him to just turn off the internet and not like swat you guys or something. That would
Yeah,
have
I
been
mean, I went
horrible.
home after that. I was creeped out. I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. Um, But fucking yeah, like that was creepy as fuck. And like yeah, it was just like Drew was like I remember Drew being like, "All right, maybe I won't be a dick on the internet for a little while." Like, yeah, maybe not.
Fuck. What's I guess the new Sonic game, it's not canceled or anything, but this reminds me of a topic that I was going to bring up like 5 podcasts ago. But do you have any like canceled video game projects that you wish would not have been canceled?
Oh yeah.
I have two.
Oh yeah. I have like a million of those. Fucking so many of them center around Star Wars, predictably. But like Star Wars 1313, I was super excited for that, even if I'd never really believed that it was ever gonna happen. But that was gonna be like a spiritual successor to KOTOR and SWOTOR, where it was gonna be like an MMO but in Star Wars, and it was gonna be it was supposed to be just cool. Like it was going to take place in the more modern time, and it was going to be all about like, oh, you can be a Jedi or a Sith or whatever you fucking want. And I don't know. It was like the little snippets of shit they showed look really cool. They were going to have like really updated graphics, and yeah, I just really wanted that. That was going to be like, I don't know. I was just really excited for that. And then there's a couple more.
Oh
Not
yeah.
really not really a TV or not really a video game series, but I was excited for The Flash, and now I wish that got canceled because it's bad. But yeah, that's the only one I can think of at the top of my head.
I was gonna say mine were Rainbow Six Patriots. So that game looked really fucking cool, and I thought that it had like a ton of potential to just be like the coolest fucking like game ever. Like FPS wise, it just looked so cool. Like if you watch like the gameplay that they released from the demo, it just looked like such a neat, interesting game. Like I'm not gonna play the whole demo, but I'm just gonna put it on the screen just for the sake of it. But it just looked so cool, but they ended up scrapping it because they wanted to make Siege instead. Which sucks, because I don't really like
Oh,
Rainbow Six Siege.
oh yeah, Siege is awful. I hate Siege.
Like, I just don't like that type of game, really, but I'm awful at Siege. But yeah, Rainbow Six Patriots looked fucking cool. And it was supposed to come out, I don't know when it was supposed to come out. I don't feel like reading this whole thing. But it got canceled in 2014 because they were like, oh, let's make Siege instead. Which is so fucking gay, because Rainbow Six Patriots was like, basically the whole idea was sort of like, it was like a Civil War Part 2. I was like, all right, a Team Rainbow is called to New York City to deal with a terrorist group calling itself the True Patriots. Styling themselves as a populist militia group, the True Patriots have taken it upon themselves to act as judge, jury, and executioner on behalf and avenging the alleged victims of Wall Street corruption.
Oh, that
So,
sounds cool as fuck.
yeah, and dude, the demo looked so cool. Like the first level, you were literally playing as some Wall Street guy who gets kidnapped, and then you get strapped into a suicide vest, and then like there's this fucking like shootout going on this bridge, and they send you to like navigate your way to the other side and blow it up, and like it's so fucking intense, and it looked so cool. And then it switched over to the Rainbow Six guys, and they're trying to like disarm the vest, and they couldn't do it, so they just like yeeted him off the bridge. It looked
I
like
just
such a neat
no,
game.
yeah, it did look like I'm watching the fucking what you're talking about right now, actually. And the premise sounds really fucking cool too. Like I don't know, I just like shit like that where it's just like, yeah, you know what? Like rebellion, fucking
Yeah,
terrorism in the eyes of the government.
there's like an
I
episode of
just thought of
24.
another one too. I thought of another one too, by the way. Fucking you remember the PT thing
Silent
that
Hill
was
PT.
yeah,
Oh
Silent Hill,
yeah,
yeah. I was
that was
excited for
so
that.
cool. Do you know the
I
PS4s
know.
that still have that installed are worth a ton of money now?
Yeah, because fucking what was it, Kotaku or what's the name of that company? Not
Konami.
Kotaku, Konami. Yeah, fucking pulled it.
Fucking piece of shit company. I hate Konami.
Remember that really pathetic Metal Gear game they released?
Metal Gear Survive. That game was poopy.
Oh, I
Poop-tastic.
heard. I fucking heard.
Another
They call me
Fallout Van
Time.
Buren. Fallout Van Buren. That game getting canceled fucking sucked because that game was supposed to be fucking amazing. Let me look up Fallout Van Buren. This game, the cancellation of this game sucked too because there was already like a ton of fucking effort put into it. They pretty much already had like the whole game written and they had all the plans laid out. Fallout Van Buren. Why is... Oh yeah, I'm using like Bing or some stupid ass search engine that sucks. Yeah. Van Buren is the codename Black Isle Studios assigned to their second iteration of Fallout 3. Yeah. That's weird. It was supposed to be like a second Fallout 3. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm like learning stuff about this game I never knew. But yeah, this game just seemed like a fucking... Like it was going to be really good. And there was going to be a lot to it. Like it was kind of just like Fallout on steroids. Just like a super expansive and ambitious open world RPG.
There was one game I can't remember the name of that looked really cool. It was like a fantasy cartoon game that was going to come out with the Xbox One, but Xbox One canceled
I
game.
think I might know what game you're talking about. Is it Beyond Good and Evil 2?
I don't think so. Canceled
Because
games.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, I don't know what's going on with that game. It keeps getting canceled and then revived and then re-canceled and then re-revived. And it's like, I don't think that game is ever going to come out. But I
Oh,
hope
it
it
was
does.
it
It looks
was
cool.
it was Scalebound, that cool looking dragon game.
Oh, I sort of... That sounds familiar as shit.
It looked pretty cool.
Scalebound.
Yeah, those are the ones that I can think of. There's like, I don't know. I try not to get into games like way early in their development anymore because whenever one that I like comes up, it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be so cool. And then just like a few years later, I think about it and I'm like, wait, whatever happened to that? And then I Google it and it's like, oh, it's dead.
Yeah, I hate that.
Because they never like announce cancellations. They just kind of like cancel it and like if anybody asks, they're like, oh yeah, we canceled that.
There's a reason I'm typing so slow, people. It's because I have my phone in one hand for some reason. Beyond Good and Evil 2. I remember, like, this fucking, this trailer came out for it, and they were trying to get people all hype. I honestly don't even know anything about this series. I've never played the first one. But when I saw the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2, I was like, ooh, this looks pretty fucking cool. But apparently, that trailer is the only work they've gotten done on that game. Because according to this IGN article, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in pre-production after all these years. This game's formal reveal was at E3 2017. That was the reveal. And it's still in pre-production. Yeah, this game is not being made. They seriously just, like, released a trailer for this. And we're like, alright, see you
Yeah, they're
later.
not even developing for it. The pre-production means that they're still writing it.
It was basically like they were doing a wouldn't it be cool scenario for us. Hey guys, wouldn't it be cool if we made this game?
If we made this game, yeah.
Or like I said, I don't give a shit. I don't know anything about this franchise. I thought the trailer looked cool, so I was like, hey, fuck it. I might check it out when it comes out. Looks like it's not coming out. So, that's fine by me, because I would care more if, for example, if like during the Elden Ring development cycle, they were suddenly just like, alright, Elden Ring's canceled. That would have pissed me off. I'd have been like, are you shitting me? No, it's not. Get in there and make that fucking game right now. But if it's a game I know nothing about, then there's no stakes. I'm trying to think of some other canceled game. I think that was it. Those were the only two I could really think of. I consider Beyond Good and Evil 2 to be a canceled game, though.
Hey, they call me Obi-Wan Slowby.
Obi-Wan
Fucking
McSlurpy.
McSlurpin. Speaking of games I wish were canceled though. Fucking actually, nah. I don't wish Halo Infinite was canceled, but I do. It is curious how 343 just refuses to release a good Halo game.
Yeah, that's really holy shit. I just started like you ever like while you're typing or writing something, like your thoughts intersect with
Yep,
something,
and
so
then
you
you
start
start
like yeah.
typing what you're saying. Yeah.
I almost just typed Halo New Vegas. Awesome.
They should remaster New Vegas and cut a bunch of its content and just totally insult the player base like Bethesda always does.
I think it'd be
You
really
do.
fucking cool if they like did some kind of New Vegas remake and they just obviously up the graphics and they wouldn't really have to add much. I think it would just be cool if they made the game more fucking what's the word I'm goddamn looking for? Like New Vegas was really 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 ambitious. And because of that, because of the limitations of the tech at the time, they had to dial back some of the stuff that they wanted to do with the story and like the branching quest lines and shit. And that said, New Vegas does branching quests and decision-based role-playing probably better than any other RPG I've ever played. But that said, I think if they did like a remake and they didn't have those same limitations, they could make like the craziest type of game out of that. Like it would just be like Game of Thrones where you're the main character making all the big calls and everything would feel like it had a massive impact. I just feel like that'd be cool as shit. Like a remake where they don't really change a whole lot. They just kind of improve the scope, I guess.
Mm.
Immensify all of the elements.
Mm.
Might have just made that
Uh,
word up.
I would like sprint in that game. I do like that game, but I do not like being forced to walk everywhere.
Yeah, it sucks, but when you think about how the world is scaled and like how fast you move in relation to like how far away everything is, it doesn't really like matter that much. I'm used to playing it, so I can I can just sort of groove through it. What I hated in Fallout 4 was how your sprint was tied to your VATS bar, your action points. I didn't like that. I was like there should be a separate bar for that. That'd be
I heard
like
a
it.
lot of people didn't like Fallout 4 in general.
Yeah, Fallout 4 kind of sucked. It just wasn't a very good Fallout game, and it tried to lean more into being a first-person shooter, and it wasn't very good at being a first-person shooter either. So it's Fallout 4 sent most people back to New Vegas
Hmm.
because New Vegas is just more of an actual RPG. You can be whoever you want in New Vegas. In Fallout 4, it's like, oh, you're this former veteran soldier who has a family and your baby has been kidnapped and you gotta go on a mission to find your baby. And that's just such a generic and boring quest line. New Vegas starts you off with like, hey, this guy in a snazzy tuxedo just shot you in the face and stole your UPS package. What are you gonna do about it, bitch? That's how New Vegas starts. Fallout 3 starts with, oh no, I gotta go find my dad. Fallout 4 starts with, oh no, I'm a dad. I gotta go find my son.
And then
It's
your
like,
son turns
fuck
out to be
off.
older than you.
See, I can play a game like Fallout New Vegas, and if I want to, I can make myself in the game. And I wouldn't even have to suspend my disbelief. I could be like, okay, let's put myself, Cody, in the Fallout universe and just say, yeah, I moved like 2 states over to the Mojave Desert, got a job as a package courier, and now here I am in New Vegas. I've done that. I've made myself in New Vegas. And then it's a really fun way to play the game. Just play as like yourself, basically. It's awesome. But in the other Fallout games, you can't really do that unless you're going to suspend a ton of disbelief and be like, oh yeah, so in this world, I was born in a vault and Liam Neeson's my dad, and I got to go save my dad, Liam Neeson. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know, there's just something cooler about New Vegas where it feels like you kind of come up with your own origin story. The game doesn't tell you anything about yourself, if that makes sense. So you're free to just make whatever character you want. And Fallout 4 was even worse because like I hate to say it, but having a voiced protagonist in a game like Fallout just doesn't work. It just pulls
Mm.
you out of it. It's like they were trying to be Mass Effect, but Mass Effect isn't the same. Mass Effect is like it's a role playing game, but you understand that it has like limits where it's like, yes, I'm still Shepard. I get to like pick the gender and kind of choose what I look like. But at the end of the day, Shepard is still basically Shepard, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But Fallout, it's like, nah, it's all about like carving your own path and being whoever the hell you want. So New Vegas just did that better than uh, the Bethesda people. I don't know why I worded it like that.
No, I get you. I get you.
The Bethesda
Uh,
people.
the Bethesda fucks. Those fucks over at Bethesda. Um, do you? This is a weird transition, but I just had a thought. Do you remember like Generator Rex and Ben 10 and all those cool cartoons?
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, bro, I was watching a promo for those the other day, or not a promo, but like an edit of them just came up on my like fucking TikTok, and yeah, dude, those like remember when like animation was really good, and
Seriously.
not everything had to be computer generated, and it was like I don't know, like I feel like animation is a dying art, and it would be really cool to see like more shows like Invincible, which I don't know if you ever saw Invincible, but fuck, it's so good.
Oh, I've
Um,
yet to watch that show. I was gonna watch that. I haven't done it yet.
oh my god, bro, it's like it tried to do what The Boys did, but like, and I know a lot of people like The Boys, but I just think it's bad and boring and heavy-handed as fuck and gratuitous as fuck. Uh, it tried to do what The Boys did, and it did it with like less time, and they did it better. Like it's just so good. I watch it, and I've watched it like 8 times, and it's like, damn, can't wait for season 2.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that show looks really good. I have to watch that shit. I don't know about The Boys. I was gonna watch The Boys because I haven't seen that either, but I heard there's a lot of dick in that show. There's just a lot of dick and bros.
Yeah,
I don't
this isn't
really.
really a spoiler. It's the opening scene of The Boys, but it literally starts with a guy like pulling a Louis C.K. on a girl who wants in. Like, so it's a chick that wants to become part of the superhero squad, and she's getting all excited, and then she turns around and one of the guys is just like standing there masturbating, like, all right, get ready, I'm gonna fuck you. And it was just like, oh man, that was gratuitous and weird. I don't like that, but I don't know, I'm sure it's a valid message. I don't know, it's not the first thing I want to see is a guy just jerking off, but I get it. That's probably what they were going for, because that's not what she wanted to see either. But regardless, I don't like The Boys very much. I don't think the special effects is very good. I don't think the acting is anything to write home about, nor the writing. And I think they just go shock and like the shock and awe route too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of obnoxious when shows do that.
Yeah. Like you can shock and awe me, but like I would prefer if it was earned. You know?
Speaking of
Which I feel like Invincible did really well.
speaking of invincible, you want to know what's invincible? Something out there you can buy that's invincible? A Dreamco VCR. Let me tell you the
Oh my
story of a time I was a little kid. I was dumb. We all do dumb things when we're dumb children. I was running down the stairs with my PlayStation 2. And these stairs had those like little spaces between the steps. So, you could like stuff could fall through them. But right
god.
below that were my basement stairs. So if anything were to fall through those cracks, it would also fall down the basement stairs. So I'm running down the stairs and I drop my PS2. And my PS2 falls all the way down the stairs to the bottom step and then slides down the crack and then falls down the basement stairs. So this PS2 just fell down 2 flights of stairs. And I go down to pick it up, and god damn it, it's still working. There's some shit busted off of it, like it took a beating, but I plug it in and it still runs games, god damn it. So ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you here is go pick up a Dreamco VCR using code
What did that have to do with Dreamco? What the fuck?
using code BBBBF RMS HVT 90786545108945261 for 2.5% off your order of a Dreamco VCR. Thank you, Dreamco. That was
Thanks,
the ad
Dreamco.
read. For those of you who skipped the ad read, welcome back to the show. We actually just got done talking about Drake and Josh.
Wait, what? Oh, wait, you mean like yesterday? I was like, we weren't talking about Drake and Josh.
Just now.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah.
Let's look up Drake. I'm going to look up Drake and Josh on Google Images. I already, none of this is going to be new information to you, because I already spoiled all this yesterday. But, Drake and Josh obviously always fucking hated each other. And the thing is, Drake Bell, or Drake Campana, I'm just gonna call him Drake Campana. I just think that's funny.
I think that was just a stage name. I don't think he was ever actually trying to go by that.
No, he changed his name to Drake Campana. Oh,
I don't think that's true.
Here I go with my Google and shoe. Oh, god damn it. Google and shoes. Drake Campana. Who is Drake Campana? Why did Drake Bell change his name? Let's find out. Alright. Dude, Drake Bell looks fucking weird nowadays. I mean, he just... I guess being a pedophile just does that to you. It turns you into like a vampire. He's a boy-hungry vampire. Oh wait, he wasn't after boys, was he? I don't even remember. All I remember is that he's like, I'm Drake Campana. Also, my headphones are almost dead. Which is just great. At least they're giving me a warning beep.
Dude, so many people that I know still follow him on Instagram. That's so weird.
Yeah. So, Drake Bell sucks, obviously, but everyone it seems like Josh gets a little bit too much praise, I think. Because it kind of seems like Josh sucks, too. And we talked about this yesterday, but the biggest example of this is the reboot that they were gonna make called Josh and Drake. And this shit just sounded fucked up. Because the whole idea of this show was basically just Josh Peck dancing on the corpse of Drake's career and making fun of him in all these different ways. And okay, I'm not finding any Google image shit, but pretty much, I told you this yesterday, the first line of the show was just a direct spitting in the eye of all Drake and Josh fans. Because apparently it was Drake walking up to Josh and he says, "Hug me, brother." And then Josh replies, "Hug yourself, fuckhead." And apparently that's like the first line of what would have been this show. And
yeah,
the whole concept was Josh Peck is this ballin' fucking super successful real estate agent, and Drake is a failed musician. So that's just fucked up. And also, I think I should mention that this whole show was pretty much like, I think Josh Peck was writing it. I think Josh was pretty much like the driving factor of what was gonna be this show. But like, yeah, dude, that's like super fucked.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. It's clear that fucking Josh never really liked him. He didn't invite him to his wedding, and then so Drake Bell or Drake Campana or whatever has a a brand new podcast that he's making right now, actually, called Drake and Janet. And I don't recommend you watch it because it's literally just two narcissists talking to each other. Because it's he and his wife are just both clearly very full of themselves, and I don't know. It's just kind of fun. It's not even funny to watch. It's just boring and weird. But yeah, they just most of the time they just talk about the Drake and Josh drama and how much Josh was actually the perpetrator of all of it. So I don't know how much of it is true, but apparently Josh is just very rude to was just like very rude to him for
It's
years and years
yeah,
after the show.
it seems
And
like Josh was just kind of like manipulative. And
mm,
like you can't tell me like when you look at Josh Peck's face, I'm gonna find this guy on Google Images. Like when you
and
look at Josh Peck, you can't tell me this guy just doesn't have like a creepy sort of soulless look to him.
yeah, his
Like
eyes are definitely empty.
yeah, like he's got that sort of like American Psycho thing going on. This picture is either very low res or does not want to load. Okay, it was the loading. Yeah. I mean, he just looks he just looks weird. He has that like Norman Bates kind of thing going on. Not trying to shit on his appearance or anything. I'm saying he just has kind of a psychopathic look. He would play a good vampire. Like if they could get him as like some kind of vampire role, he'd probably be pretty good there. Yeah, moral of the story is I think everyone's sort of like, ew, Drake, he's a pedophile, so he sucks, but that doesn't mean that Josh is like automatically a good person.
Yeah, and like I said, they just talked about how, and this has apparently been corroborated, I guess, because I read an article about it, but like how fucking Josh would like just openly like shun Drake at fucking like social events where they were at with their peers and shit. I don't know, just like, and maybe he was just ahead of the curve with that shit. Like maybe he just knew that fucking Mr. Jared Drake Bell was a fucking creepo, but
Speaking of
um
creepos, looking at a picture of Dan Schneider right now.
yeah, I don't even want to talk about that guy. Ugh. Ugh. But
Send me your feet.
did you ever hear? Oh no, I don't even want to talk about this. But yeah, he would apparently have like pool parties with him and other like Nickelodeon execs and their child actors, and only the child actors and not their parents. And it's like, gee, I wonder if he was up to anything no good there. Like, fuck's sake, dude. But anyway,
Creepy. Oh, there's a
creepy.
very gross picture of him here with Ariana Grande. Oh my god, that
Yeah,
is some
there's
fucking Harvey Weinstein shit. He looks like
yeah.
he's like caressing her, and he's just like, it's okay, baby. I'm gonna take you to a place where I can look at your feet all day.
Have you seen the one with look up Dan Schneider, Zoe 101 actress.
Ugh,
1 second.
gross. I don't like this picture I'm looking at. Dan
Yeah.
Schneider with a foot in his mouth, and it says Victory Royale from Fortnite.
Jesus Christ. Um. Yeah, I don't like that guy. Fuck that dude.
Is Dan Schneider a confirmed like child
No, he's
molester?
never. Nobody's ever come forward, and nobody's
Yeah.
ever. The closest that it has gotten is um, Jeanette McCurdy, who played what was her name, Sam Puckett on iCarly, the blonde chick.
Yeah.
She came forward and basically said, like, she didn't say that he like sexually abused her or anything, but she basically came forward and was like, yeah, he is not a nice person and he's very difficult to work with, which like you can just tell looking at his face that that's not a guy who has a handle on his like emotions. So
Yeah.
I can get behind that, and there's like a whole bunch of like there's a lot of creepy shit to do with that dude. Like um
There's a lot
there
of
was a
evidence that points to this guy being a chomo, but I'm not gonna like
yeah.
accuse anyone of that without like actual full blown proof, because that is probably the worst thing to accuse someone of being.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you there's enough proof out there to do it, but I just don't look too deeply into shit like that because it just makes me like literally physically sick. Like I just don't like thinking about like crap like that. It makes me sad.
Yeah,
Because it's just like, damn, dude, that's gross. What was I gonna? I had another topic prepared, and I cannot remember it now because I didn't write it down.
that's
Well,
okay.
I was like, well, I don't think I have it.
For a second, I thought my headphones died, so I was like waiting for you to make a noise. I was like, shit, has it happened yet? My headphones are gonna die any second, but that's fine. I'll just go grab a charger. If I suddenly go silent, just start singing a song to kill the dead air time or something.
We should watch a movie after this.
I'm down. Let's watch
I
Drake and
don't know.
Josh, the movie.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
there are.
there are like two
As,
Drake and Josh movies actually.
oh yeah,
I remember the shrimp one was actually pretty good. That movie kind of slapped. I don't remember the other
yeah.
one.
It was shot like a sitcom, so it worked.
Yeah.
The other two movies that they made were shot like cinematic movies, and it did not work
Okay.
because you could just clearly
If you had to be either Drake or Josh, who would you be?
Josh,
Me too.
Josh, 100%.
That actually wasn't the question I was even gonna ask, but I just segued that perfectly. A genius. If you had to be a soldier in any war in the history of humanity, which war would you choose, and which side would you want to be on?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, you cracked out a few times.
If you had to be a soldier in any war throughout history, which war would you choose, and which side would you want to be on?
Oh man, that's a. I don't even know how to begin breaking that down because it's like, damn, it would all suck. I would
Shit, my
probably
headphones
honestly.
have died. Let's see. Alright, I just turned them back on. We'll see if this even works.
I can still hear you.
Alright, well, you go ahead and put as much time and effort into this question as you can. I'm gonna go get my charger.
I'm gonna wait until Cody gets back because there's no point in answering him if he's not here to listen to me. So I'm gonna fill you guys in on a little thing I like to call love and harmony. Love your neighbor. Love your friends. Love your family. Love your pets. Just love me. Love your, love, just love. Spread the love. Um, make sure it's appropriate love, make sure, it's consensual, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this. You guys like Nutter Butters? I like Nutter Butters. I really love Nutter Butters.
Okay, I made it.
Oh, I pretty much just didn't answer the question and rambled about loving your neighbors because they're all you have for about 30 seconds. So I'll answer your question now. So if I was going to be in any war in any human history, I would probably just want to be one of the Romans in the early days of the Republic expanding, simply because the rest of the Italian peninsula pretty much just rolled over to them. Most of Western and Southern Europe kind of just rolled over to them, so it would have been mostly just easy. I don't want to be in any war where I have a chance of dying.
See, that's a good answer. My answer was I would if I had to pick any war, I would choose the Great Australian Emu War, and
That doesn't count.
I would like to be an emu
Wait,
because
why would you want to be?
the emus won.
Yeah, but they didn't kill any. They didn't kill any people. The emus were the only
They
ones
might
that
have.
died.
Emus are some mean motherfucking birds.
Well,
They're
do you know how they
assholes
fought the emu war?
with machine guns, and they
Yeah,
still lost.
how would an emu have gotten close enough to kill a person if he's on the back of a truck with a mounted machine gun?
I think it's just absolutely amazing that Australia lost a war to animals. Like,
Australia is constantly in a losing war against its animals.
that's true. Yeah, I'd want to be an emu of the Great Emu War. I guess if I had to pick a serious answer, fuck, this isn't even a serious answer. I would be a politician in the war on drugs.
Okay, what would you say a serious answer would be? Like it has to be a conflict.
Hmm. Um. Jesus Christ, that's actually like really hard. I'm trying to think of like times. Oh, I guess.
I don't want to be in a war with guns and like explosives because that's like I don't know. That just seems stressful. I would much rather have been back in the times where like you learned with sword and you had armor and you shot arrows and stuff. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That
I,
just seemed a lot more glamorous.
I feel that too, but also I've always felt like being in like a sword fight with someone would be like really stressful too. Like you'd have to have such like pinpoint precision, and you would just have to hope that you were just a better, more skilled swordsman than the other guy, and that you were just faster. Otherwise, you'd get like sliced and stabbed and bleed everywhere. And I've just always thought about that. Like, oh god, what if I suck at this? What if I'm not a master of the blade, and the other guy fucking just stabs me in the chest or whatever?
Given my physique, if I was a peasant during those times, I would have just been like a farmer.
Be like a gardener. That'd be cool.
I
But
definitely would not have made a very good soldier. I would have been a farmer or a slave probably because I'm pretty small. I'm not very tall. Tall people rule the damn world.
how sucky
Except
would
for
it be if you like went back in time and you showed like an iPhone and some cool technology to like the Mayans or the Aztecs or whoever, and they just immediately wrangle you up and make you a slave?
I
It
mean, they'd
just
probably just kill you.
none of the cool shit you're showing them matters. They're just like, cool.
I
Look at
mean,
this guy, slave, get him.
they would probably just like be afraid of you and just kill you for being afraid of you.
They just like break it. Better yet, they just know how it works and they're unimpressed. They're like, oh, this is only iPhone 6. This guy doesn't even have the no plan. Like, fuck you, Mayans, and your advanced technology.
Well, I am out of topics, and we've been recording for about an hour now.
Same. Damn, it's gonna be a slightly short episode. That's okay.
We did a couple of episodes in a row where it was like an hour and a half. So
I'm gonna call this a bonus episode. Just kidding. But
call this clip show episode.
I do think it'd be kind of cool to have like some kind of bonus episode type thing, but I have no fucking idea what we would do with it. Like it would just be more talking, and that's what we already do. That's the podcast.
Do like a co-op or something.
Co-op. Oh, that's yeah. I'm trying to think of wait, hold on. Where did I put my fucking phone? That shit's gone. I don't know where I put it. That's okay. I had topics on there that I probably could have used. Also, my charger thing just fell out. But yeah. Oh yeah, the topics I was gonna use are just kind of boring anyway, and I've been meaning to delete them from the list. But yeah, that's probably gonna be the end of this episode then.
Hell yeah! Thanks for coming, guys, and we will see you around. Cody, this is my last episode. I just thought I should let you know.
Yep, join me next time. I'll be playing some Dungeons and Dragons all by myself.
Ooh, that's another good idea for a bonus episode. We could have like a Dungeons and Dragons run if we could find one more person.
Yeah, we do a D&D campaign. Like, oh, we could like make our own D&D campaign. Because then we could do whatever we want with it. We could make ourselves the main characters and just like, what would be a fun D&D campaign that would basically just be like an action buddy comedy between the two of us? We do a D&D campaign about like me and you preventing 9/11.
Let me see here. I want to see if there's a such thing as like a virtual D&D dungeon master, because then we wouldn't even need a third person.
It could be like
Virtual.
you and me hunting down Osama bin Laden.
Is there a virtual dungeon master?
We just call it Chasing
Yeah, we could
Cody
buy. Yeah.
Desert
Oh, dude.
Vengeance.
Dude. Yeah, we could. There's something on Steam that's like $10 that acts as a dungeon master. We could totally do that.
Oh, that's cool.
Hell yeah, we should fucking plan something like that, because then it would be like a radio show, but like D&D style, because we could get really deep into the parts, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we could write our own story.
Let's do it!
We could write
Tune
our
in
own.
next time. Actually, it might not be next time, but tune in eventually for D&D, D&D.
Oh, we could
BBD,
also
D&D.
fuck, I had another idea. Oh yeah, we could have like people we know in real life giving us quests and shit. Like
Yeah, like
fucking
Corey King.
like we would like go up to Cal and he's like, hey Budman, I need you to go kill 5 chickens for me.
Dude, we could
Well,
totally do that. That would be fun as fuck.
why Callum wants us to kill 5 chickens? Who knows? What would be a cool errand quest that we would get?
I need you to go get my figurines.
I need you
They're
to
been.
I need you to raise $4,000 for me
Oh,
so I can get a new Saturn.
I know exactly what it's gonna be. His truck, so you remember how his truck got stolen 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be, he needs us to recover his truck.
Yeah, and then like we find the guy who steals it and we can like either negotiate or beat him or fucking sneakily steal the truck back.
Yeah, and then we take it for ourselves.
Yeah, we just never give the truck back. We just beat the game with the truck. Go back and like run Aaron over with his own truck. This is our campaign, Aaron. Aaron plays D&D. We could get him to play a campaign starring us where he ends up dying. How fucking weird would that be? How weird would that be if someone invited you to play like a D&D game and
like you were a character,
and also you die? They're like,
and
"Oh,
like
you're already in it. So can I play as myself then?" "Oh, no, sorry. We have you
you're
scripted to die."
you're an NPC.
This is before we liked you when we wrote this. Alright, well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. This has been Big Boy District, and remember, check out Dreamco VCR. Dreamco VCR. Jingle those keys in front of you one more time. Don't buy a Roku. Don't buy an Apple TV. Don't buy any of that confusing bullshit. You don't need streaming. You just need the tape. Just pop it in. Just pop it in. And then when you're done watching it, remember to hit rewind so that the next person who watches it gets to watch it from the start without having to rewind it themselves. Thank you, Dreamco VCR, for the sponsorship. Goodbye, everybody.